Stampers! Today we're going to make this card. I posted this on my blog last week and I didn't actually have the measurements, so I thought I would do a video and give you all the measurements of the card, and we're just going to go ahead and put it together really quick. So let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the pieces we're going to use. We're using the Very Vanilla, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then the basic black, this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're using a piece of the designer paper called Modern Medley, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so then this piece, the Very Vanilla, is cut at 3 by 4, and then the Strawberry Slush is cut at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then this piece, the Basic Black, is cut at 1 3/4 by 5, and then the Very Vanilla is cut at 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then this piece, the black, is cut at 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. Strawberry Slush is cut at 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. And then the Very Vanilla is cut at 2 by 3 1/4. And then I just want to show you these other ones that I made. We're going to make the Strawberry Slush. But here's the pistachio pudding. Aren't they beautiful? And there's the crisp cantaloupe. And then the baked brown sugar. And then the Coastal Cabana. And then, of course, we're going to make this one. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put the card together. Layer the designer paper on top of the black. I'm going to layer this onto the Very Vanilla. Okay, so then the next layer, the Strawberry Slush, I ran it through the Big Shot with the Perfect Polka Dots embossing folder. And we're going to adhere this to the Very Vanilla. We're going to go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals. Put this right here. Okay, so then this piece, the Very Vanilla, I ran that through the Fancy Fan embossing folder with the Big Shot, and we're going to layer this onto the basic black piece. Pop this up on dimensionals. Put that right there. And then this layer here, pop the Strawberry Slush up on the black. Pop more dimensionals up there. This is a thicker card. You might need extra postage, but it's so pretty. Okay, so that's the base of the card. So now we're going to go ahead and stamp this little piece here for the front. 1,000,001 Thanks. I love this stamp set. And the stamp set's called 1,000,001, and I love all the fancy swirls. I just love this stamp set. It's one of my favorites. And then we're also going to use the Flower Shop stamp set, and it also comes in a bundle with the Pansy Punch. You can buy them separately, but they come in a bundle for 15% off. So first we're going to go ahead and stamp the greeting, and I went ahead already and stamped the 1,000,001 Thanks on a piece of vellum. I'm just going to position this right where I want it. And take my Stamp-O-Ma-Jig. Make sure that didn't move. I'm going to use the black StazOn. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals also. I'm going to put this right in the center, just like that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and use this Flower Shop stamp. And let me show you a little trick that I found out while making these cards here. The stamp and the punch, depending on how you put your stamp on your block, it might not line up with the punch. So I'm going to show you a little trick here. I just got a piece of Very Vanilla, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my punch upside down. So I'm just going to punch like a template first, and then after I punch it, I'm just going to say front. that's what it looks like when it's looking at me when I'm punching it upside down, okay? So then we're just going to go ahead and flip this over to the back side, and then you're going to take your stamp and you're going to line up the punch with your stamp, however it fits into that groove perfectly. So now this would be considered the top of your stamp to line up with the punch perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove that, and then I went ahead already and put an arrow on the back. So I automatically know that this is the way I want the stamp to sit on the block to get a perfect punch. So now let's go ahead and stamp it. And then you're going to take your pansy punch, and it's going to line up perfect every time. It's like that. See? Just punch that out. Okay, so I'm going to take a dimensional and put one up at the top. Take another one, put it towards the bottom there. And then I'm just going to put the flower over to the left, just like that. And then we're going to add a bunch of rhinestones to the center here. Let me close up my ink pad. Okay, so the center has a bunch of little dots here, so I'm going to take one large rhinestone and put it right in the center. And then I'm just going to put little tiny ones around there, and it's about 6 of the smaller rhinestones that will go around the center of this flower. That pretty. Okay, so there's the strawberry slush. And then here's all the other ones that we made with the other in colors. The pistachio pudding, baked brown sugar, banana, and then the crisp cantaloupe. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.